being picked up for Nuguri, and that's going to mean counter pick support. So they're deciding who they want to fast with Senna against this Gen.G team comp, and okay, well, I mean, if the Quinn ban did not forecast this coming, I don't know really what else did. As Gragas support gonna be the answer for the Kalista.
That's a hefty amount of CC into that one. We're looking at potential supports here, I suppose. Although...
So it's gonna be Wukong, actually, down in bot lane, and that's gonna be Gangplank coming in against Renekton. So pretty unplayable top lane matchup if Nuguri plays it right. All the cards are gonna be in his favor, and things are a little bit scary for Gen.G. They have a very misaligned top lane champion relative to what the Kindred and Azir are trying to achieve.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, also, Kalista and Gragas, they're going to be up against Senna and Wukong down in the bottom. We'll see what Kindred can manage to do against Trundle, but the Gangplank very scary for the Gen.G team composition to try to handle.
Yeah, the GP seems like a great final pick for them, and DAMWON pulling out all the stops in this pick ban. Really like what they went for. That Renekton, still a bit confusing to me.
Well, we'll see if they can end up going the distance. A lot of their champions do spike at different timings, which makes things a little bit awkward. And then because of the top lane dynamic, things get very hard if Kindred can't offset that somehow very early. I think Nuguri will just take over the game. In terms of pure late game scaling, DAMWON will surely walk away with this one.
Oh yeah. They're gonna have a fun time. You got Senna, Corki, GP, and a nice amount of CC to back it up with that feasting Wukong, which we have not seen yet. Very interesting pick ban for sure. As Gragas, he's just taking a nap. Oh, well, he woke up real quick. Okay, back to life. As this game is as well. And that has been the fun thing about DAMWON too. You know, they've been playing really well in their lanes. They obviously are very practiced. Even BeryL said, I think he spent like 3 months in a row just in the training facility, just like practicing his mechanics and solo queue and all of that stuff. And now they're putting him onto Wukong, which is definitely not something that most supports will be very good at or practiced at. And the other thing, you know, I mentioned their mechanical prowess, but also their ability to draft has been quite nice so far.
Yeah, and I think that coming into this game here, DAMWON, they really identified the flex potency with the Wukong. They managed to pick him on R4, knowing that they could pivot him down into bottom to get fasted with Senna. And Ghost is going to be the Grasp of the Undying and the Frozen Mallet. And they managed to find themselves with a very advantageous top lane. So Trundle able to have a lot of pressure removed from him. And for a team composition that is trying, I never will understand the Scorch on Azir. By the way, I'm just pointing that out.
It's
definitely something.
It's definitely weird. I
yeah.
mean, it's you're playing the champion not to heavily poke out Corki in the lane. You're playing it to scale into the late game. I mean, we did see Chovy earlier today in game 1 kind of poke out a Corki with his own Azir, but it's not because of just Scorch, you know, that one rune. So.
Yeah, and we see Nuguri up here with Rascal, just trying to constantly poke, trying to farm grass procs as much as he can. Rascal did get 11 out of 12 though CS, so very good CSing by him. 13-5 win rate here for ShowMaker on the Corki. Everyone seems to be a very big fan of this Corgi skin.
Yeah, I mean,
The pink one.
How could you not? Oh, the pink one. You're talking
Yeah,
about
the chroma. Chroma, yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Pink is a great color. Actually, it fits in a lot of different situations as they're going aggressive here. The Wukong early is not going to have as much sustain and CC as the Gragas, so you can see that life is really getting in their face.
Yeah.
Saying, you know, this is our lane. Good luck.
Yeah, and they're trying to really just exert a lot of pressure. Clid's going to come in here now. And also rolled a mark on the right-hand side. Canyon trying to make his way up into top lane, and Renekton does have a ward, so he's going to be totally fine. As Trundle tries to go over and just get the left side Scuttle Crab, and honestly, I mean,
okay,
a little bit bizarre. Rascal giving up a lot of pressure in top in order to come and tango with Canyon.
Yeah, and he's gonna, I suppose, at best, force a smite, which is not really it's not a big deal at all. Canyon just gonna go back to his grump and continue his farming. Not missing the smite one bit. Mid lane has been pretty fine for the Corki. ShowMaker has been a long time fan of the Corki, and of course he's played this matchup in 2019, and he's playing here in 2020. Definitely knows how to play it. Mark is going to come down here. Clid not going to greed for it though.
Pillar comes out, but doesn't really matter. Clid has the Scuttle Crab, able to quickly move away. Gold score completely even right now. Well, okay.
I'm not sure why exactly
I'm not
covering that. Maybe
sure,
wanted to teach the Korean viewers about Kindred's passive.
Yep.
Talking about BeryL
Pantheon
exploding after having that Pantheon come in. Whenever you see like LCK stats, that's when you know they're actually really good. Because all the other stats are just for the role. So he's first in damage percent for all supports in the LCK, but then multiple other stats, he's fifth out of everybody as a support, which is not easy to pull off.
Well, we'll see what he can manage to do here on Wukong in the later stages of this game. After he starts getting his items and whatnot, as things have been a little bit rough so far for DAMWON early on, and Nuguri. It's always one of the scariest things is when players pick the Gangplank, but they don't seem super comfortable in piloting him in the laning phase to the extent that he can be played. So they're picking him more for just his ultimate and overall scaling and control rather than to really dominate the matchups that he can be just a real menace in. I mean, Nuguri does have the call already, has the Sheen, but Rascal doing a very, very, very good job, all things considered.
Yeah, Rascal is an interesting top laner in the fact that he's not the most flashy. I mean, I suppose now in summer he has #1 in terms of solo kills, but it's still very early on. He's not the most flashy, but he's very consistent, and I feel like he's always improving. And so far has looked really good in summer, so we'll see if he can keep it up. Definitely a pressure matchup for him up against a guy like Nuguri.
Nuguri just trying to crash in one of the waves. Trundle, he's just doing the golems right now. He's going to try to utilize the priority up in top to, I guess, invade the blue buff with Nuguri. And meanwhile, on the flip side, Kindred's going to go for the invade as well. Unlikely to end up giving this over to BDD, given that he already has the Lost Chapter. Nuguri just going to zone off Rascal. And this is just pretty standard. So, remember, both games today here, or both series so far in LCK, the early games have been very, very slow. And honestly, I'm not trying to jinx anything, but we might need to channel Vanilla Ice Cream in order to make
this. Right as you said that, they're TPing bot lane.
You know, I mean, never really doubt the ice cream, okay?
I don't understand it. Like, what? Immediately, we're getting a dive, flashing in, And the GP ultimate is going to help a little bit as Ruler got aggro. And it's a little bit of an awkward dive as BeryL actually is able to stay in stealth essentially for quite a while and survive for a bit. But I wonder how long that is going to last as Rascal is chasing him down. Trying to flash over. I don't think that's a good idea in any circumstance, as the chances of surviving are so low that it's just not worth it to lose that summoner. But either way, BeryL tried his best. He did not get out, and the dive is successful in getting the bottom lane a couple of kills.
Yeah. And it really helps as the Wukong and Senna just get put behind. Meanwhile, Canyon just going to end up picking up the Rift Herald. ShowMaker doesn't actually lose a whole lot as he comes over to do that. He's also going to get a little bit of EXP for himself. And meanwhile, in top lane, Nuguri was not able to get a second turret plate. So we take a look at this, and this was a very cookie-cutter play here out of Rascal. He just TPs down, very generic dive. We don't really get to see these that much anymore. Gangplank not able to really do or offer anything in this situation. BeryL uses his R, but like you said, all for naught. No, not Nautilus. He's not in the game.
Yeah, he got banned, in fact. Maybe they're doing it for him because he got banned. Either way, they brought in his friend Gragas, who knows a thing or two about being friends with Kalista. And that, you know, the trade, of course, was the Rift Herald going the way of Canyon and Nuguri getting a little bit of free farm, free XP, a plate up in the top side. But, you know, generally because the dive was pretty clean, it still seemed pretty good there for Gen.G.
Well, everything else is just going very stable. 1 minute until the Infernal Dragon. And if Gen.G can manage to get that and then roll an Ocean, things do get a little bit scary. If you are a DAMWON fan, so Clid gonna come in here, see that there is no Gromp, and are they thinking about making a dive? I'm not sure. Doesn't seem so.
Nah, probably not a good idea, especially with the Drake coming up if something goes wrong. You're not going to have a fun time. Cannon Barrage.
Oh.
It's also available.
Yeah, just barely missed. And, oh, Kindred in close proximity.
They want to drop this, I think.
Yeah,
Rift Herald.
They're dropping, what? Hello?
Yeah, Rift Herald.
Okay, that is, I mean, it's 2 turret plates going over to ShowMaker, but Infernal's coming up, and ShowMaker can't really move, so...
Okay, BDD's still here. He's going to be forced to ult early. Subjugate also comes out, and Gen.G just kind of say, okay, that nice play. I guess you got Azir's ult, but we have the Mountain Drake. At least it is the Cloud Soul that is coming up here.
Well, 4.5 minutes until that one will come up. Not the biggest dragon, or it's not the largest third dragon that you have to prevent by any means, so DAMWON will be able to actually just forego that one and only fight for the soul one itself. Things can obviously get a little bit dicey there, but not the end of the world by any means, as Ghost did actually manage to interrupt the recall of Gragas.
Oh, he got the cannon, but he missed the ward. Feels bad, man. Still, he got the cannon. It's a lot more worth. And I wonder how this game is going to continue. I mean, they had that one dive in the bottom side early with the cleverly placed ward down in the brush. But now that the very highly contested most of the time Infernal got taken down, they might just kind of chill. I mean, life is here, but it's against a Corki. You're not going to find anything unless you get the perfect flash down.
Yep, and it looks like Ruler's just going to be able to complete his call soon, as is Corki. Rascal running right back up into top lane, but really, I mean, this Gangplank has not gotten the kind of sizable advantage that one would expect, and this is very scary. Can Clid get the slow?
Oh, flashing in is BDD, and Nuguri is dead meat as the rotation from very far away caught Nuguri out there. Even though he was very fast and he had his flash, it still wasn't enough to get him out of harm's way.
Yeah, and BDD has the teleport available, so he's going to come right back into mid. Doesn't even actually miss the cannon, so only lost one melee minion to make that play work. And Rascal going to cause, well, Nuguri's going to miss an entire cannon wave, and Rascal's going to end up getting 3 turret plates. I mean, Gen.G are just in a very fantastic spot in this game. Call about to be completed for both ShowMaker and Ruler, and even though the gold score is very, very close, you gotta remember that Gangplank's in the game, so...
Canyon is just being dogged down here. Clid flashing forward, though. He is going to have to burn that ultimate. Rascal, great TP into the backside as Canyon barely going to survive there at the end, but goes down in a trade for the Kindred as BeryL does get in there. Cannon Barrage, they're trying to turn it onto BDD, but the shield is enough to keep him alive, and Ghost is all alone.
Well,
for some reason, running straight into Gragas Kalista. Generally not a good idea. May have gotten knocked up there by the Fate's Call that is on cooldown.
Yeah, DWG are really floundering about. I mean, Nuguri, he wasn't in the fight. It is 6-1, and the gold score is still pretty even. Yeah. So that is something that is very interesting, all things considered. And this really just goes to show Gangplank's power right now with both his passive, the fact that he has all that turret gold inside of him as well.
보여줄게. 학원이 있는데 각 나오냐 태민아? 나 이거 풀까지 따라갈게.
Then
풀 썼지?
go for it with his flash.
집 갔다 미드 텔 탈게.
I'm gonna go home and then I'm gonna teleport. Good usage of looking around the map by BDD as well. And we take a look at live cam on the bottom left. Not anything happening yet, but here in this fight, I mean, Clid, he goes for Canyon. And Canyon, I mean, had he made up his mind, I think, well, I think if he just kept running to the right-hand side, that was probably his best chance, or not down towards blue, but up towards wolves. Maybe that was his best chance to live, but nonetheless, teleport came in from Rascal.
Oh boy.
Ruler ends up missing his ultimate, doesn't really matter. Ghost eventually getting locked up and dogged down.
It's just a mistake. He shouldn't be anywhere near them. After that fight is basically over, just gets easily ulted right in his face, and he flashed too. You're just not going to get away from that.
And we take a look at this team fight. Look at the itemization coming out of everyone on DAMWON. Corki, no Miramana yet, no Trinity Force, no Frozen Mallet on the side of Senna. This is easily the worst timing for DWG to try to fight. They could actually just throw away the entire game. Gangplank doesn't have ulti yet. It's up in a few seconds. ShowMaker, I think he just got Trinity Force though.
That's a ton of sticks inside of the Dragon. It is going to get smited down, but they want to take the fight here. BDD so low, but he's over the wall now as they're trying to get on top of Ruler, but he's also going to flash away. So many summoners still left available here. ShowMaker's got the package. He might just go in there. They're going to force that ultimate, but with the package, you have a lot of range. Will he go for it? The answer is no. Not between the two turrets, not this time. So the Cloud Drake goes the way of Gen.G, but DWG do take a ton of value away from Gen.G.
Yeah. And now they're going to bring the game to Soul Point at 22 minutes. Nuguri is... Oh. I don't know how you... Well, I'm not totally sure, but...
He's dead.
Honestly, we're just not even going to talk about it. That was not a vanilla ice cream moment, Valdez.
No.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
That was weird. Strange, you might say. Nuguri doing his best. It wasn't a solo kill, I guess, but still died a couple of times. The isolated death.
Well, He also went Yumu's Ghostblade second item.
Okay. You what? That's pretty incredible. I'm not going to be able to hit the eye, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a bit impressive here. All things considered. And again, Nuguri has call completed. Looks like he's going to go Ninja Tabi as his boot choice. Going to be very good against the enemy team composition. But the Yumu's is really going to make it so that he has to hit hard and really show up inside of the team fights. This is LCK. We're probably not going to see anything like Leandri's third here on the Gangplank. Unfortunate, Valdez. Unfortunate. As mid-tier 1 turret is looking like it's poised to fall 2.5 minutes, or 3 minutes, until that Cloud Soul.
ShowMaker is just doing some insane damage. And he's so good at chasing them down. There's that Cannon Barrage, the flash forward, and Ruler gets blown up immediately. As in goes the Wukong, forces the ultimate out of BDD. Doesn't even have to expend his. And DWG really, you know, I don't use this term often, but I feel like they have a lot of tempo in this game. They're cutting down on ults and flashes and summoners. And it's unfortunate that there's really no objective for them to go for right now. I got him.
Well, yeah. It's very simple. Kill onto Kindred. And then for some reason, Gen.G here decide that, you know what, it is imperative, life or death. We need this 500 gold.
Absolutely.
On the mid-tier 1 turret. And then 250 of that dispersed amongst the 3 champions.
Great.
Currently on your screen. So, life or death there. And DWG's like, what, you know? And then they clown bop them.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
And then ShowMaker got 650 gold for shutting down the 3-0 Kalista. Yeah, talk about worth. It was certainly worth for one side, that's for sure. Clid has 4 marks after he steals the enemy Raptor. So he's hit that 4 mark. It's a good mark to hit.
And another turret falling. Now, for the score having at one point been 7-1 and all the dragons going in Gen.G's favor, the gold score is actually very, very close, all things considered.
And the scaling comp.
Yeah, the scaling comp is, I mean, it's essentially online at this point. So this is where everything gets scary. However, it is going to be match point at the Cloud Drake. If DAMWON win this Cloud Dragon team fight, they'll probably stabilize and take the game. As sad as that sounds, although it's not really that sad. I mean, it's just, you know, the inevitable force here.
It's just League of Legends.
It's just how it goes, you know?
If
like
you're a 5-head with a wine glass, then you understand.
It's like playing against a control deck in a TCG, you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if they have 1 hit point or...
They drop disinformation campaign like 3 times and you just
doesn't even matter.
Rage quit the game.
Well, you can't kill them. They eventually come online. They retake control again. And DWG are really threatening that here with the Corki, Gangplank, and the Senna. So this is going to be it, the last rodeo. And honestly, I'm so surprised that Gen.G didn't just have 1 member starting the dragon and then falling back towards it gradually and then going for the burst.
Yeah. And
instead, they are going to surrender the position. This is very good for Gangplank and Corki.
The Corki, ShowMaker's pretty low, but they have so much damage they can just try to burst it. But it goes to the Kindred as Clid gets the perfect smite. But who's going to take the fight? Double stopwatch, pretty good here from Gen.G, but the follow-up knockup is going to be big from the side of BeryL. And now Gen.G have to run away. DWG taking it pretty slow, and they might actually let everybody from Gen.G get away after they had a chance to take that fight. So the steal comes in, and Gen.G are sitting pretty.
Yeah. Clid ends up successfully getting that steal, but they are forced to disengage and then just play it safe. Kalista trying to make her way up to the death stance. A little bit unfortunate for DAMWON, but they have the champions to still win this game. And if you remember in series number 1, I was telling you that Cloud Soul, oftentimes when you get it, you're like, yeah, I really wish that was an Infernal or an Ocean, or something of that nature. Just take a look at this. Clid comes over the edge, gets the steal right in front of Canyon's face. He is mauling out of his mind. Nuguri on the right-hand side, getting tagged by Ruler. Ultimate doing a lot of value, and then it's a full-on disengage because Renekton, champion, you know, he does stuff.
He flashed away. I saw that play.
It's one of the best plays actually that he can go for.
It's one of the most common in his repertoire, that's for sure. He is 3-0-2, so getting a lot more gold than most Renektons should get in this circumstance. Allows him to hit, 2.5 if you consider the stopwatch that he just used in the last fight. Again, a lot of value taken away from Gen.G, but they gained so much by picking up the Cloud Drake and everybody surviving. Notice that pretty much everybody has their flash as well. It's not like they all had the flash disengage. 4 out of 5 members still have it. Not to mention double TP. So, still feeling good about the way that last fight went. Question is, how long is this game going to go? Because it does feel like there has been a lot of action so far, but we're only 24 minutes in. And I think DAMWON will need to get to that Supreme late game to really feel good about their position.
Well, Death Stance is being built for Nuguri. Almost completed here for the Kalista. And take a look at Azir, a little bit of a savant. Has the Haunting guys.
It's not even gonna...
Yeah, I actually thought that Ludens was coming in when he had the Lost Chapter and the blasting, but seems like he's actually going to get Leandra's Torment.
More value for the gold that he spends?
Listen.
Please, this is insane. I've never seen anyone do this before.
Valdez, you have a career in infomercials. Whenever you
so?
need to. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's right up your alley.
I suppose that's a compliment. I'll take it as one.
It was.
Yeah, thanks.
And right now, Gen.G, they're going to lose out on the red buff. Canyon was able to retain it. 2.5 minutes until Elder. And so, like I was saying in game number, or the first series, if you recall, sometimes you get Cloud Soul, and you're like, yeah, really wish it was any other dragon.
Yeah.
And that's probably how Gen.G are feeling right now. Because with Infernal or Ocean, this game's over. If either one of those dragons, Mountain, the game's over.
Yeah.
Cloud, yeah, they still have some advantages, but I'm not sure if it's actually enough.
Yeah.
Given that DAMWON have a lot of good Baron resists with their champions, and they're threatening that enormous late game scaling. So things are getting pretty scary.
If the fight is cut and dry, then everybody only gets to use their ultimate once anyway. There's not going to be any of these ultimates that are really going to come off cooldown in time, unless we have something where it's like like an Elder, and then you've got Baron 1 minute later spawning. And it's like, oh, we just had a big fight at Elder. Everybody's back up. We got to fight at Baron. The enemy team, they still have their ults on cooldown, but we don't. Let's try to force a fight. That would be one scenario, but as you're mentioning, comparatively, certainly not ideal. As we're just clearing out Baron vision. Pretty stock standard here for Gen.G. Not really trying to take any big risks or go for any big picks or plays just yet. They got to be careful about how much time they do spend up against 2-0-1, 3-0-3 farm Corki, but they're just going to go ahead and start it up here. They do have the Kalista, so that is one way to do it. And actually, they do perhaps bait ShowMaker into taking the package here.
And Gen.G, I mean, at this point, they've hit their item spikes on most of their key champions. Kindred has a little bit of a Build-A-Bear workshop going on in her inventory, has Executioners, a Kindle Gem, a Zeal, and Renekton, I mean, for the remainder of this game, he's going to be the same champion. Even when he picks up a Guardian Angel, most likely, is his next item.
Yeah.
He's going to get 40 AD. That's not changing him inside of a team fight. He's going to get the Guardian Angel passive. So there will be that, but Kalista is all but slowed down. Every item completion here forward doesn't really change her job in a team fight. And so really, it's going to come down to Azir now. He's the champion that will still keep ramping up with future items. And
they're just gonna try to burst it with the package, zoning him out. Look at how much damage BDD just took by stepping on it. And now the Cannon Barrage is gonna try to zone him out here. But in goes Rascal and Life. They're trying to fight front to back. Nuguri taking a huge amount of damage in the front line. Clid is in there. It's a little bit awkward as down will go Ghost and down will go Nuguri, and the fight is going heavily in Gen.G's fashion, although ShowMaker is still alive. Everybody else around him has gone down, as that is going to be the clean ace, the triple kill to the Kindred, the Elder Drake to Gen.G, and maybe just the game as they look to push.
The game. They're just going to run straight up mid lane. Canyon's coming up in 20 seconds. Ghost in 12, I don't think that I mean, neither of those champions are going to be capable of hanging on. And I don't really know what to say. That was very disjointed. You could tell that DWG had an idea of what they wanted to do. They couldn't really quite execute.
Oh, good.
And Gen.G just snapped on the opportunity.
Yeah, they're getting eldered. This game is over, guys. 29 minutes. And Gen.G are going to put the nail in the coffin. Down it goes. GG. As they win a big fight at the Elder